Oh, hello there. I'm Deshaundwa Williams III. Welcome to our short music documentary. I will be your narrator for today's short music doco, brought to you by Donkey Man Records, crafted for easy listening. This is your invitation to sit back, relax, light up a thick blunt, if that's your thing, and immerse yourself in the compelling stories behind some of the most iconic figures in music. Here, we strip away the distractions of sound effects and interviews, focusing solely on the facts and the fascinating tales we know. Whether you're looking to unwind or simply indulge your curiosity about the legends of the music world, you've found the perfect backdrop. Let's explore the intriguing narratives and untold stories that have shaped the legacy of these artists, all at your own pace. In the early 1990s, a voice emerged from the depths of the Seattle grunge scene that would redefine the landscape of rock music. Kurt Cobain, with his disheveled blonde hair and piercing blue eyes, became the reluctant prophet of a generation, channeling the angst and disillusionment of youth into the anthems of Nirvana. His lyrics, at once poetic and piercing, laid bare the soul of an artist who felt too much in a world that listened too little. Yet, behind the electrifying performances and groundbreaking albums, a storm was brewing, a tempest of personal struggles and external pressures that would culminate in tragedy. On April 8, 1994, the world was stunned to learn of Cobain's death in his Seattle home, an event officially ruled as suicide. But questions lingered, fanned by inconsistencies and whispers of darker possibilities. Over 2 decades later, the mystery of Kurt Cobain's death continues to fascinate, puzzle, and provoke. What really happened in the greenhouse of that Lake Washington Boulevard home? This is the question that haunts fans and skeptics alike, igniting theories that range from the plausible to the outlandish. Kurt Cobain's journey from an unknown musician in Aberdeen, Washington, to the frontman of one of the most influential bands of all time, Nirvana, is a testament to his undeniable talent and complex persona. With the release of Nevermind in 1991, Nirvana catapulted to international fame, driven by the raw energy of Smells Like Teen Spirit. Cobain's music, marked by its fusion of punk ethos and melodic accessibility, became the anthem for a generation disillusioned by the excesses of the previous decade. He was hailed as the voice of Generation X, a label he both relished and rebelled against. Yet, beneath the spotlight, Cobain grappled with the weight of his newfound fame. The adulation and media scrutiny intensified his long-standing struggles with depression and led him into a tumultuous relationship with addiction. His music often mirrored these battles, weaving narratives of alienation, angst, and a yearning for authenticity in a seemingly indifferent world. Cobain's candidness about his mental health struggles and his critique of societal norms endeared him to fans, but also foreshadowed the challenges that lay ahead. As Nirvana's success grew, so did Cobain's discomfort with the spotlight. The band's relentless touring schedule and the pressures of producing a follow-up to Nevermind took a heavy toll on him. His marriage to Courtney Love and the birth of their daughter, Frances Bean, brought moments of joy amidst the chaos, but also new challenges and increased public scrutiny. Cobain's battle with addiction escalated, leading to multiple rehab stints and incidents that alarmed those around him. The complexity of Cobain's life, marked by his incredible artistic output and his struggles with the very fame that his talent afforded him, sets the stage for the enduring mystery and speculation surrounding his untimely death. His legacy, however, extends far beyond these struggles, cementing him as a legendary figure whose music continues to resonate with audiences around the world, challenging and inspiring new generations to find their voice in the echoes of his. On April 8, 1994, a sense of unease descended upon the vibrant city of Seattle, marking the end of an era in the world of music.
I'm Kurt Loder with MTV News. Nirvana leader Kurt Cobain, an extraordinarily gifted singer, songwriter, and guitarist, was found dead in Seattle on Friday morning, apparently a suicide. His body was found at a house that he owned but didn't live in anymore on Lake Washington Boulevard. He was discovered by an electrician who was doing some work on the house. He had been killed by a blast to the head from a 12-gauge shotgun, and a suicide note found nearby, according to the electrician who found him, ended with the words, "I love you, I love you, I love you." Nirvana had been...
In the quiet hours of the morning, an electrician arrived at Kurt Cobain's Lake Washington Boulevard home to install a security system. It was there, in the greenhouse above the garage, that he made a grim discovery that would send shockwaves around the globe. Peering through the windows, he saw Cobain's lifeless body lying still with a shotgun across his chest. The news spread quickly, and soon the police were on the scene, piecing together the final moments of the rock icon's life. The official report painted a somber picture. Cobain had been dead for several days by the time he was found. Beside him, detectives located a suicide note, penned in red ink, which spoke of Cobain's inner turmoil and his struggle to feel the joy in music. The note, addressed to his childhood imaginary friend Bada, expressed his apologies and reasons for leaving, ending with a poignant farewell to his wife, daughter, and fans. Forensic analysis confirmed that Cobain had died from a self-inflicted shotgun wound. The toxicology report revealed a high concentration of heroin and traces of diazepam in his system, substances that had plagued Cobain's final years. Nearby, detectives found drug paraphernalia, adding a tragic layer to the narrative of his last days. The investigation concluded that Cobain had barricaded himself in the greenhouse, ensuring solitude for his final act. The immediate aftermath of Cobain's death was a tumultuous period of mourning and disbelief. Fans gathered outside his home, creating an impromptu shrine adorned with flowers, letters, and memorabilia. The music world reeled at the loss, grappling with the void left by Cobain's departure. His bandmates, family, and friends were left to navigate the complex legacy of a man who had become much more than a musician. He was a symbol of a generation's hopes, fears, and disillusionments. The day of discovery not only marked the tragic end of Kurt Cobain, but also the beginning of a saga of speculation and inquiry that persists to this day. While the police report closed the case as a suicide, the circumstances surrounding his death, his battles with addiction, the pressures of fame, and the cryptic nature of his farewell note continue to fuel discussions and debates about the life and legacy of one of the most enigmatic figures in rock history. Among the myriad theories that emerged in the wake of Kurt Cobain's death, one of the most persistent suggests that Cobain was the victim of foul play. Proponents of this theory scrutinized the forensic evidence and circumstances surrounding his demise, arguing that certain details do not align with the official ruling of suicide. A focal point of skepticism is the level of heroin found in Cobain's system. Toxicology reports indicated a concentration of heroin so high that it would have incapacitated Cobain, rendering him incapable of pulling the trigger of a shotgun. Critics argue that the amount of heroin would have led to immediate unconsciousness or death, questioning how Cobain could have had the clarity and physical ability to commit suicide in such a state. This discrepancy fuels speculation that Cobain may have been incapacitated by the drug and subsequently murdered. further scrutiny is directed at the suicide note found at the scene. Detractors of the official narrative point out that the note itself, for the most part, reads more like a farewell letter to Cobain's fans and the music industry, rather than a traditional suicide note. It's only in the final few lines, written in a noticeably different handwriting style from the rest of the note, that Cobain mentions a direct goodbye to his wife and daughter. This inconsistency has led some to suggest that the note was altered or that the concluding lines were added by someone else, implying a cover-up. Additionally, questions about the physical evidence, such as the lack of fingerprints on the shotgun, contribute to the theory of foul play. Skeptics argue that it is highly unlikely for Cobain, or anyone who had just fired a shotgun, to leave no fingerprints on the weapon unless they were wiped clean. This aspect of the case is often cited as indicative of someone else's involvement in Cobain's death. The theory of murder, while lacking conclusive evidence, is bolstered by these perceived inconsistencies and anomalies in the forensic analysis and the behavior of those involved in the days leading up to and following Cobain's death. For those who believe Cobain was murdered, these points form the basis of a narrative that contradicts the official account, suggesting a more sinister conclusion to the life of one of the most iconic musicians of the 20th century. The second conspiracy theory delves into the role of Courtney Love, Kurt Cobain's wife, with some theorists suggesting her involvement in his death. This theory gained traction partly due to the actions Love took before and after Cobain's disappearance and subsequent death, as well as comments made by Tom Grant, a private investigator hired by Love herself. Grant, a former Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy turned private investigator, was initially hired by Love to locate Cobain after he left a rehab facility in Los Angeles just days before his death. However, Grant's role quickly evolved from searching for a missing person to questioning the circumstances surrounding Cobain's death. He raised several points that fueled speculation, behavior, and statements of Courtney Love. Grant expressed concerns about inconsistencies in Love's statements and her behavior during the search for Cobain. He suggested that Love's actions before Cobain's body was discovered were manipulative and designed to divert attention away from potential foul play. The suicide note. Grant, among others, has pointed to peculiarities in the suicide note discovered near Cobain's body. Critics argue that the note, primarily appearing to be a letter announcing Cobain's departure from the music industry, does not conclusively indicate his intent to commit suicide until the final few lines. Some speculate these lines were added after the fact, raising suspicions about who actually wrote them. Cobain's credit card activity. Grant highlighted that Cobain's credit card was used after his death was estimated to have occurred. While this could be attributed to various factors, including unauthorized use, conspiracy theorists have used this detail to suggest that Cobain's death was part of a broader plot, questioning Love's involvement or knowledge. Disputed claims about Cobain's state of mind. Skeptics of the official suicide ruling often cite friends and associates who claimed Cobain was in good spirits in the days leading up to his death. They argue that Love painted a darker picture of Cobain's mental health to align with the narrative of suicide. Despite these allegations, it's crucial to note that there is no concrete evidence that directly implicates Courtney Love in Kurt Cobain's death. The speculation surrounding her involvement stems from interpretations of events and behaviors, which, while suspicious to some, do not constitute proof of wrongdoing. Love herself has vehemently denied any involvement in Cobain's death, and official investigations have not supported the theory of foul play. This theory remains one of the most controversial and discussed aspects of Kurt Cobain's death, reflecting the complex interplay of personal relationships, public personas, and the search for truth in the face of tragedy. The third conspiracy theory surrounding Kurt Cobain's untimely death points to the music industry itself, suggesting that the immense pressures, conflicts, and perhaps darker motives within the industry landscape may have played a role in his demise. This theory stems from Cobain's well-documented discomfort with his fame, his contentious relationship with Nirvana's record label, and the predatory nature of the music business at large. Kurt Cobain catapulted to international stardom almost overnight, becoming the unwitting voice of a generation and the face of grunge music. With this fame came expectations and pressures that Cobain found increasingly difficult to navigate. His music, deeply personal and reflective of his own struggles, was suddenly under the microscope, dissected by fans and critics alike. Cobain's disdain for the commercialization of his art and the misinterpretation of his message by mainstream audiences created a rift between his artistic integrity and the demands of the music industry. Cobain's relationship with Nirvana's record label was fraught with tension. Cobain felt that the label's push for more albums, tours, and public appearances directly conflicted with his own desires for creative freedom and a more subdued lifestyle. The constant push and pull, coupled with his battles with addiction and the media's relentless scrutiny, compounded the pressures he faced. Proponents of this theory suggest that industry insiders may have had motives to harm Cobain or to benefit from his death. Speculations range from financial incentives, such as the surge in album sales typically seen after an artist's death, to more nefarious motives tied to insurance policies or contractual disputes. Additionally, the theory posits that Cobain, planning to leave the music industry or make significant changes to his contractual obligations, may have been viewed as a liability or obstacle by those who stood to lose the most from his decisions. While these allegations offer a compelling narrative of the potential dark underbelly of the music industry, they lack concrete evidence. The speculative nature of this theory highlights the complexity of Cobain's situation. His fame, his relationship with the industry, and the external pressures that may have contributed to his mental and emotional state. However, without direct proof linking industry actions to Cobain's death, this theory remains one of many attempts to make sense of a tragic loss, reflecting broader criticisms of the exploitation inherent in the entertainment industry. Among the myriad of conspiracy theories surrounding Kurt Cobain's death, one particularly far-fetched notion captivates with its sheer audacity: the idea that Cobain faked his own death to escape the pressures of fame and is still alive. This theory, while lacking in concrete evidence, is fueled by a combination of wishful thinking, purported sightings, and the cultural fascination with the idea of celebrities escaping the burdens of their public lives. Advocates of this theory often cite the overwhelming pressures Cobain faced as a global icon and the leader of Nirvana. They argue that his well-documented dissatisfaction with fame and the invasive nature of celebrity culture could have driven him to stage his death, allowing him to live out his days away from the public eye. This narrative is bolstered by occasional claims of sightings of Cobain in various parts of the world, from remote towns to bustling cities, though these accounts often lack verifiable details and are dismissed by skeptics. The appeal of the Cobain Lives theory lies partly in the romantic notion of rebirth and escape. It suggests that Cobain, in a final act of defiance against a system he despised, managed to extricate himself entirely from the public sphere, achieving a level of freedom and peace that eluded him in life. This theory taps into the broader cultural phenomenon of celebrity disappearance theories, which include tales of other iconic figures who have supposedly faked their deaths, from Elvis Presley to Tupac Shakur. These theories offer a form of solace, a way for fans to cope with the loss of their idols by imagining them finding happiness away from the spotlight's glare. However, the Cobain Lives theory also raises questions about the ethics of speculating on the choices of a person who struggled openly with mental health issues and the impact of such theories on Cobain's family and friends. It underscores the complex relationship between celebrities and their audiences, where the line between person and persona becomes blurred, and the public feels entitled to every aspect of their lives. While the idea that Kurt Cobain faked his own death and is living in secrecy is a captivating narrative, it remains one of the most outlandish and unsupported theories related to his passing. It reflects the enduring mystique of Cobain as an artist and the lengths to which fans will go to keep his memory alive, searching for hope in the face of tragedy. In navigating the labyrinth of theories surrounding Kurt Cobain's death, we encounter a spectrum of plausibility, each theory reflecting a facet of Cobain's complex relationship with his fame, his art, and the world around him. The theory of foul play, while underscored by genuine inconsistencies and questions, struggles against the lack of concrete forensic evidence directly indicating murder. The high levels of heroin in Cobain's system, the peculiarities of the suicide note, and the absence of fingerprints raise doubts but do not conclusively prove foul play. The speculation surrounding Courtney Love's involvement in Cobain's death taps into the tumultuous nature of their relationship and the chaotic environment in which they both lived. However, this theory often veers into sensationalism, lacking solid evidence to move it beyond the realm of conjecture. Similarly, the idea that the music industry, with its notorious pressures and dark corners, played a direct role in Cobain's demise, presents a narrative more speculative than evidentiary. It highlights the predatory aspects of fame, but does not offer a tangible link to Cobain's death. The most far-fetched of the theories, that Cobain faked his own death, speaks to the mythic status Cobain has achieved in death, a status so large that some fans find it unimaginable that he could truly be gone. This theory, while captivating, stands on the shakiest ground, driven more by wishful thinking and the mythologizing of celebrities than by facts. The enduring debate over the circumstances of Cobain's death reflects the profound impact he had on music, culture, and the generation that came of age in the shadow of his legacy. Cobain's artistry and his willingness to bare his soul in his music resonated deeply with fans, making his loss all the more personal. His death marked the end of an era, but the music of Nirvana continues to inspire and influence, a testament to Cobain's enduring relevance. Importantly, the discussions around Cobain's death bring to the fore the critical issues of mental health and the need for compassion and understanding. Cobain's struggles with depression, addiction, and the pressures of fame highlight the importance of addressing mental health openly and without stigma. It's a reminder that behind the icon was a person grappling with deep personal pain, and that his story, like those of many others, underscores the need for awareness and support for those struggling with similar issues. While speculation about the nature of Kurt Cobain's death may never cease, it's crucial to remember and honor his contributions to music and culture. As we reflect on his legacy, let's also commit to fostering a more empathetic society that recognizes the complexities of mental health and offers support to those in need. Cobain's voice, through his music, continues to speak to the pain, the beauty, and the contradictions of the human experience, reminding us that it's okay to not be okay, and that in understanding and compassion, we find our shared humanity. In wrapping up, we turn the spotlight to you, the viewers. What's your take on the theories we've unpacked today? Do any resonate, or do you have insights we've missed? Dive into the comments below and join the discussion. Let's keep it respectful and enrich this conversation with diverse perspectives. If this journey through music history has sparked your interest, hit like, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. It's your engagement that fuels our passion for exploring the legends behind the music and their lasting impact on our culture. Remember, beyond the mystery and speculation, it's the music and the message of these iconic figures that have left an indelible mark on our hearts and the world. So, as we sign off, let's not just dwell on how they left us, but celebrate the legacy they've created, inspiring generations past and future. Thank you for tuning in. Stay curious, keep the conversation going, and until next time, keep enjoying the melodies that move us all.